Hello friends, this video on Waves Part 18 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till Part 17 before going ahead with Part 18. Now that we have finished discussing about traveling waves, let us focus on standing waves or stationary waves. Now, as the name suggests, stationary waves would mean something which is at rest, which is stationary and not moving. So, what can stationary waves be? Sounds interesting, right? So, let us have a look at this. When two waves of same frequency, wavelength, and amplitude traveling in opposite directions will interfere and produce a standing wave. So standing wave is basically produced by two waves which are traveling. That means two traveling waves can produce a standing wave. Now what is the condition? The condition is that the two waves must be traveling in opposite direction and they should be of same frequency, wavelength and amplitude. So let us have a look at this. Here we have two traveling waves which are traveling in opposite direction. If you see the wave on the top, it is traveling in this direction, whereas the wave in the below diagram is traveling towards left. So both these waves are traveling opposite to each other. Now, if you try to visualize this scenario, you can see that at certain instances, the peak of the first wave will overlap with the peak of the second wave. Therefore, what will happen? Both the peaks will add up, right, to form the resultant wave. Similarly, at certain points, if you see, the peak of the first wave combines with the negative of the second wave. Thus, at certain points, the net amplitude will become zero. So, that is how, at different instants of time, sometimes they both will together rise up, sometimes they both will together result in a dip down. So as a result, you will have a standing wave which will look like this. If you see, once it goes up, then again it goes down, again it goes up and so on. So what's happening here? If you look now, you forget about the first two waves. You just have a look at the second wave. When you look at the second wave, do you feel in any way that the wave is traveling? No, right? Because as I mentioned before also, whenever we talk about the displacement of the wave or the movement of the waveform as a whole, what we observe is how the peaks of the wave are moving. If you see the first two waves, the peak seems to be moving towards right. In the second wave, the peak of the wave seems to be moving toward left. But if you look at this wave, you can very clearly see that the wave is not at all moving either to the right or to the left. The wave is stationary. So that is why these waves are called standing waves or stationary waves, because they do not travel to either side. They just be at their own position. So stationary waves, waveform does not move, formed by two waves traveling in opposite direction with same amplitude, same wavelength and same frequency. Now let us look at the same concept mathematically. Just now we discussed about reflection of waves, right? So let us make use of reflection here. Let us suppose that you have a rigid wall. Let us suppose that, consider this first wave, and let us suppose that this wall which you see here, it is a rigid wall which does not move. So what did we study in reflection? We studied that when a wave comes and hits a rigid wall, what happens? It reflects back with a phase difference of pi, right? So this wave will start going back. So let us consider that this first wave is our incident wave which is hitting this rigid wall. After reflection, it goes back towards left. So let us suppose that the second wave is nothing but it is representing the reflected wave. Now what happens when the reflected wave travels towards the left? There is another incident wave which is coming towards the right, because this coming and going of the waves keep continuing, right? So if you observe at any instant of time, the wave, that is the reflected wave, will superpose with the incident wave, because the incident wave is continuously coming from left towards right. So incident wave is continuously coming from left to right. And now after getting reflected, the reflected wave will keep continuing to travel from right to left. So at any instant of time, there will be two waves, one going towards right and the other going towards left. So these two waves will overlap and form a standing wave, right? So now let us look at it mathematically. Let us suppose our incident wave or the first wave, which I am talking about, y1, is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. I am ignoring phi. Now let us say that the second wave, which is traveling towards left, is represented by a sine kx plus omega t. Why plus omega t? Because the second wave is traveling towards the negative x-axis, and I have already told you that a traveling wave towards negative x-axis is represented by kx plus omega t, right? So now when these two waves will superimpose, what will happen? You will get another wave which will be represented by y. So that another wave will be nothing but y1 plus y2. So what will be that wave? Let us look at this. So y will be y1 plus y2. So what is y1? It is a sine kx minus omega t. And what is y2? It is a sine kx plus omega t. So this can be written as a you take common. So you will have sine kx minus omega t plus sine kx plus omega t. So again, from your trigonometric relations, the quantity which you have in the bracket is of the form sine a plus sine b, and sine a plus sine b is equal to 2 sine a plus b by 2 cos a minus b by 2. So using this you can write a, and this becomes 2 sine a plus b. So a plus b becomes 2kx by 2 cos a minus b. So a minus b becomes 2 omega t by 2. So this becomes 2a sine kx cos omega t. So what is this? This represents the resultant wave, which is formed by superposition of two waves in opposite direction with same amplitude, frequency and wavelength. Now look at this wave. Is this a traveling wave? No, it is not, because a traveling wave is in the form of a sine kx minus omega t. But here you have a sine function plus a cosine function. So this doesn't represent a traveling wave. This equation basically represents a standing wave. Now, which quantity in this equation represents the amplitude of a standing wave? The amplitude is represented by this quantity, that is 2a sine kx. Therefore, here an interesting thing which we observe here is the amplitude in case of a standing wave is dependent on the position of the particle, that is x. Because amplitude, what is this amplitude? It is basically the maximum displacement made by the particles of the medium. So in case of a traveling wave, the amplitude is same for all the elements, like, right? It is not dependent on the position of the element, but in this case the amplitude is dependent on position of the element of the medium. So this quantity 2a sine kx represents the amplitude of your standing wave, and cos omega t represents the time dependence variation or the phase for the standing wave. Now if you look at this diagram, it basically shows you how two traveling waves combine and gives rise to a standing wave. If you observe this diagram, the wave represented by the blue line represents a standing wave. So see, in the first step, the amplitude is maximum, then it reduces, again it goes down, and then it goes to the maximum value in the opposite direction. So how does this overlap takes place? You can see it. One wave is represented by a dotted line and the other wave is represented by a grayish line. So these two waves overlap in this way, and then you get the corresponding standing wave. I found this diagram very convenient and very easy to visualize the situation, because see, waves is a chapter where I cannot make you see everything. There are certain things which is beyond my capacity to display. For example, how two traveling waves are traveling in opposite direction and forming a standing wave, right? It is something which you yourself need to visualize. I can just help you to visualize it in the correct way. So I found that this diagram is very suitable one, and it is also given there in your textbooks. And I feel that if you observe it very carefully, you can understand how do you get this kind of a standing wave, which doesn't move on either side, only that its amplitude keeps changing. So now that we have discussed about what is a standing wave, let us have a quick discussion on a comparison between a traveling wave and the stationary wave. Standing wave is also known as stationary wave, right? In the same way as you have another name for traveling wave, that is progressive wave. So let us quickly differentiate between them. When I talk of a traveling wave, the waveform moves. Movement of the waveform is always indicated by the movement of the peaks of the wave. If you observe the peaks, you see that they keep moving towards right. So that shows that the waveform moves. Whereas in case of a standing wave, the peaks doesn't move. They seem to be at the same place. So the waveform is stationary. Wave amplitude is same for all the elements. Here the amplitude is denoted by A, and this holds true for all the elements of the wave. But in this case, the amplitude is given by the quantity 2a sine kx. So the amplitude is dependent on x, that is the position of the particles. So that is also a major difference between traveling wave and a stationary wave. So we represent a traveling wave by this equation a sine kx minus omega t plus phi, where a is the amplitude and kx minus omega t plus phi represents the phase of the wave. Whereas in case of a stationary wave, we represent it as 2a sine kx cos omega t, where 2a sine kx represents the amplitude and cos omega t represents the time variation. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.